Welcome to P3, I'm Randall Mark. This is a show that explores the fascinating people, places, and perspectives that make up our world. On today's show, using hypnotherapy to heal your past. This is P3. Can issues from the past be affecting you and your life today? Hypnotherapist Rosa Livingstone believes that the past life regression therapy can help people with their mental hang-ups and even physical ailments. Rosa joins me now in studio to discuss this very controversial treatment. Welcome to the show, Rosa.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, before we get into past life regression therapy, because it sounds kind of mystical and weird, let's start with hypnotherapy. Okay. It's been a treatment, it's been around a while, but a lot of people are, I don't know, they have this, the initial reaction is we see weird people dancing around like chickens and that kind of, I mean, obviously you get that. So what is hypnotherapy? Are people in a trance? How does it work?
Hypnotherapy really is a natural state of, yes, trance, in which the mind becomes very, very focused on only one thing other than everything else that's going on around them at that one moment. It's really when we daydream, for instance. When you're daydreaming or when you're driving and all of a sudden you lose track of time, that is a light state of trance. So we're in this state very normally. Hypnotherapy is just using that trance state to guide a person into a very quiet mind and body state.
So you're saying it's a normal biological state that we all encounter. We just don't know that that our mind is accessing that part of our brain at that moment.
Absolutely.
And you're saying as a hypnotherapist, you've developed skills, techniques to get people to that place where they can focus in that way.
Absolutely. All hypnotherapy is focused concentration to allow the conscious mind, which is the part of you that's in an aware state, like right now, you're using your conscious mind, your logic is still there, and I guide them using words. It's literally just words. So
you're not making them do crazy stuff. Are they aware of what they're doing the whole time? Are they aware? Are they cognitive of what's going on?
Yes, because even though your conscious mind slips aside to that, for that trance state rather to happen, and that's when your subconscious mind comes up, the conscious mind's aware. They hear everything. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to relax mind and body. And yes, they hear everything.
Okay, so if you, let's say you put me in some kind of a hypnotic trance, and you ask me to do, put your head, underneath the table, I can say, no, I'm not going to do that.
Absolutely.
You're not like you have this magical power over people.
No, what needs to be understood, the general public needs to understand, is that hypnotherapy truly is self-hypnosis. As a hypnotherapist, I'm strictly a facilitator, I'm a guide, but it will not happen unless the client allows it. And I cannot make anyone do anything that they wouldn't do anyways.
Okay, so if I do it, you're like, you would have done that anyways.
Like a dog, you can do that.
That's okay, because one of the things that I'm amazed at is the kind of claims and issues that you would address with this therapy. And for instance, when you talk about things like fertility issues, to me, I think fertility is just a biological issue. And you're saying, no. There is psychosomatic issues that are going on in our body, how we think, and stress affects fertility. How would hypnotherapy deal with fertility issues?
There is a subconscious block to the actual becoming pregnant, the conceiving process. There is a huge mind-body connection. I'm going to say mind-body-spirit, but we'll just deal with mind-body for now. Even though a person has been trying to conceive for a period of over a year, then that's called unexplained because there is no physical reason why they have not conceived. There is, however, an emotional reason. And it can be as simple as consciously going, we're ready, subconsciously saying, I'm not ready. Mind is more powerful than the body, and the body will dictate, the mind rather, will dictate what the body does. And this is happening,
I was reading it's like 30–40% of women are having trouble conceiving somewhere in that percentage.
Absolutely.
And they're saying, listen, there's nothing wrong physically with you. Is it stress? Is it our diet? Is it how we think? I mean, that makes it far more complex than just a biology issue.
Absolutely. There is a critical mind factor that overrides what the body is doing. And in my work with the fertility issue is that there is an emotional block. And it's most likely, it's always somewhere in the first 5 to 6 years of their lives. It's a belief that they formed very early on that gets triggered and attached to that particular function of
See, because
conceiving.
you mentioned attachment. I mean, when you say the first 5 years, there's a huge body of literature around we call attachment theory. Obviously, you know this, about how the first 4 to 5 years of a child's development, brain development, is all about protection and connection. And if there's trauma that goes on in the first 4 or 5 years, that's going to show up in major ways later on in life. Is that the kind of stuff you're tapping into?
Absolutely. It's like buying an iPod, and when you turn it on, when you first buy it, there's nothing there. You need to program it. It's the same with a child. Even in utero, the awareness is beginning. The first 5 years of our lives is when we are learning most about our environment and forming the beliefs about ourselves and our family and our world. There is a part of the mind that is not formed yet, and that's our logic. So a child is learning by what they think and feel, and then they'll make a decision on that. So a lot of our work is, yes, it's trauma, but that's such a loaded word. It can be just as simple as a child feeling that, you know, everything revolves around them, and so it should. Children don't have a lot of experience, and it could be mom didn't give them what they needed in a particular moment.
And it's not mom's fault.
And it's not mom's fault.
Right.
It's not mom's fault. It's not dad's fault. And we're learning beliefs that, unfortunately, sometimes they're not our beliefs, and we just take it all in, and then we decide how we're going to use those in the future. They're programs that 95% of the day, it's those old programs, it's our beliefs that are running through our minds.
See, that's really interesting. We're going to take a quick break, Rosa, but I mean, you're saying some of these early things that most of us are unaware, because it's it's our unaware brain in our first four years that are kind of attaching these things. And you're saying this has downlines into issues of fertility, teen issues, anxiety, emotional stress, marriage, relationships. All that stuff shows up, and we're like, where did this come from?
Absolutely.
Let's get into some of those issues, because we have a whole list of issues we've got to get into. So more with Rosa Livingstone when P3 returns.